Hello. So it's Tuesday, the 17th. And been a couple days since we had the memorial for my brother Patrick. Let me review that for you and just kind of check in. I did a live feed of the memorial till my battery ran out on my computer, so we got about an hour of it on Facebook. It went beautiful. It went really wonderfully well, pretty much as I envisioned it in my mind. Most of the people who I hoped would come did. Quite a few of Pat's friends, music associates, did not. So it felt like the people that really were supposed to be there were there. And I had some family come in from out of town, besides my nephew. And it was really wonderful. I'm still kind of coming down from all the stress. And that's just the reality, is that as cool and as calm as I would try to be handling all this stuff with my brother's passing, it was very stressful. It was. So I'm glad I have a few more things to take care of regarding his affairs. And but I'm glad that is done. Overall, I have been really quite preoccupied with that, so I have not been able to properly focus on some records that came in that people want reviewed, but I'll talk about them a little bit so that you folks, if you want to investigate it, at least you can know about the records, okay? So a few days ago, I received this record called Ziegfeld, The Crossout. Apparently, Greg Griffith is the person behind this. And this is a limited edition, 200 copies on vinyl. When it came, I couldn't make the connection as to why it came to me, and then I saw that this person is a friend on Facebook, someone I have not met. There are names on here of other folks who I'm familiar with in the music business. And also I see here that Malcolm Mooney, of the original lead singer of Can, does a spoken word on this. My first impression of this was not much. That's all I can tell you, is I have to come back to it, okay? My first impression was, I wonder if it's about the words. The music didn't catch me on the first, but that's what I'm telling you. I've only had a first impression. But I want to let you know that I got it, and we'll see what it sounds like to me after a few plays. Same with this one, Buck Gooter, Head in a Bird Cage. This one came with a long explanation of what was going on with this band and the passing of a member, or the main guy behind Buck Gooter. That was enlightening and helpful. I have to come back to this. It sounds like there might be a couple tracks on here that I like. It seems like it's kind of dark, maybe a little bit trashy, maybe. I mean, with a name like Buck Gooter, I'm not sure, But my first impression was, I have to get back to it, okay? Other records that have been spun a little bit, because I really have not been listening to a lot of music. I've been still spending a lot of time with my nephew Kareem. And the other thing I wanted to share, and I'm glad I made this. connection. Besides drawing up my last will and testament with the help of my nephew Karim also helped me to incorporate myself. I've been needing to do this since the 80s, so I started a publishing company. Finally, I have my own publishing company. And so I've been actually spent most of Monday publishing a bunch of my old releases. And that really feels like an accomplishment. It does. But as I was working yesterday, some music I listened to was Joe Henderson, The Elements, featuring Alice Coltrane. This is an odd Joe Henderson album to me. He's using electronics on his saxophone, and this is kind of weird. It was like I wasn't getting into it at first, and I had to leave it on to surrender to what they were trying to do. It's still one that I have to grow on, that has to grow on me. If I mention this, I don't remember, but this is something I picked up used not too long ago. Emilio, Aparicio, Moog, Expansion, Galactica. This is one of those kind of kitschy sort of albums that someone discovered. The story's in here. A lot of this album is kind of sounds like you can't really take it seriously, although I'm sure the guy making it was quite well involved in his process. But it's a bit cheesy, but at the same time it's cool. I love electronic music. There's enough about this that's cool that it definitely stays in my collection, but that one got played all the way through. I'll mention this because I told you I just recently bought this French guy, and I played this again all the way through while working. Pierre Barouh, really like this musically in particular. The Yellow Magic Orchestra touch is all over it. I also pulled and played the Steven Wilson remix of Freehand by Gentle Giant. Great album. Very good Gentle Giant album. Taliban, His Last Voyage. Okay, do you know those songs? Freaking fantastic. Played this for my nephew Karim the other day. Haruomi Hosono's Medicine compilation from the Quiet Lodge. And we were both just transported to a tranquil, beautiful place. Hosono is a master. Motherfucking master. I also turned my nephew onto the historical significance of Arthur Lee and Love. Forever Changes. I played Alone Again, and he heard it right away. It's like, I never heard nothing like that. And then I told him when it was made, and his eyebrows went way up. It's like, wow. Again, I mean, he's gotten his due over time, but still not placed in the same pantheon, in my opinion, as he should be, along with folks like Bob Dylan, John Lennon. Am I overstating it? I don't think so. Arthur Lee ought to be on a same level as those guys. And because of the Porcupine Tree Octane Twisted that I recently got on vinyl, I went back to The Incident. And this is aged. When it first came out, myself, along with many other Porcupine Tree fans, kind of felt like they were repeating themselves a little bit. And they were, but this has grown in stature over time. I like The Incident a lot. And the live version of it is good on Octane Twisted. Sometimes it takes time for things to emerge like they ought to. At this point, I really have nothing to say about current events here. I'm talking about them with my nephew. It's just real apparent how things are run by people who have the money. There is no leadership anywhere. It's just a mess. It's just an oligarchical mess. So I'm keeping my perspective and focus as much as possible on my personal life and the people around me, because I just see our planet just being trashed. Just being trashed by those who have the wherewithal and the power to do so, with no conscience about our needs, about trying to mend anything. Just sad. So again, thank goodness for music and thank goodness for love.